Cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death in women, claiming more lives than all cancers combined. In fact, nearly 45% of women over the age of 20 are living with some form of cardiovascular disease. It's even higher, up to 59% among Black women. Bringing those numbers down is the point of the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women campaign. Joining me now to talk about the campaign are these lovely ladies. We've got Samantha Epler, Vice President of Go Red for Women at the American Heart Association in Dallas, as well as volunteers and Dallas Go Red co-chairs Stacey Nahas and Susan Wetzel. So good morning. Thanks for being here, ladies.
Thank you.
Love your red. Okay, Susan, let's talk about the Go Red for Women event movement and why it is so important. What made you get involved?
So we have a long history of heart disease in our family. My father and my grandfather and my husband's family. And so 20 years ago, I decided I wanted to get involved in an organization that can make a difference. American Heart Association really is a good steward of your dollar and has made a huge difference. Even in the pandemic, my mother-in-law had COVID at the beginning and it damaged her heart. And we know that because of a grant from American Heart Association for $2.5 million to study the impacts of COVID on heart disease.
Wow.
And so to see that direct impact of your dollar, it just makes me tear up.
No, I can imagine, obviously, and life-saving for many. So let's talk about, Stacey, kicking off the Heart Health Month to nationally. Stars like North Texas' own Demi Lovato, Mickey Guyton performed at the Red Dress Collection concert. As a volunteer, you're helping focus on North Texas. So how do you drive that movement locally?
Yeah, you know, the three of us got to attend that event in New York, and it was very powerful. And driving the movement here locally, we're doing that in several ways. We're driving engagement with our corporate sponsors to increase awareness with their employee groups, whether it's a lunch and learn on, prevention and symptoms, or offering training on hands-only CPR. We also have our Circle of Red, which is a giving society of women that are passionate about ending heart disease in women, and then our survivors who are so brave to share their stories about cardiovascular disease. As you said, it takes the lives of 1 in 3 women every year, the #1 killer of women, and we all have a heart, so we all have a reason to get involved.
That's a good point. Okay, so the movement raises awareness. We mentioned that, education, but it also is a fundraising campaign. Obviously, we need dollars to be able to make these happen, like these classes and things like that. So where exactly are those funds used?
Well, it's a great question, and it's one we're very passionate about answering. The American Heart Association is on a mission for longer, healthier lives for all people. We think about that in the realm of research. That's what people most often think about when they think about the American Heart Association. But it's also about advocacy. It's about making people aware, having conversations like we're having today. But we're really focusing on women through Go Red. We're taking a look at research for women, by women. We're taking a look at the mental health connection to our health and well-being, and then really focusing on maternal health as well. We're funding projects and working with local organizations to ensure that we're part of the conversation and these statistics change for the better.
Well, I know you just mentioned your mother-in-law, but let's talk about examples of how the campaign had benefited someone locally, either through the information or the funds.
Absolutely. Well, in our work, we get to hear from incredible people every day. I'm seeing people that come to our luncheon, and then a year later, they come back to me and they say, what I learned that day saved my life. I learned about signs and symptoms that I would have otherwise ignored. And that's the greatest gift for us. You talk about the direct impact of your dollar, and this is the direct impact on people's lives.
Okay, so here we are. There's a Dallas Go Red for Women's Luncheon experience coming up. It's not just for women. Let's talk about it. What is this all about, and how can people be a part of it?
It is going to be so much fun and so exciting. So this is the 100th year anniversary of American Heart Association and the 20th year anniversary of the Go Red movement, which actually started here in Dallas, which is fantastic. The luncheon is going to be everything from educational. We'll have hands-only CPR program. We'll have survivor stories. We'll have the ability to check your stats. But we're also going to have a little bit of fun. So there's a bubbly bar, a friendship bracelet making station. You'll be able to do speed portraits to get your headshot. And then we're going to have the most fabulous fireside chat hosted by Kelly Raspberry with Nicole Lynn, who is a superstar sports agent. She is the first Black woman to have a top 3 NFL pick. And she has a book. I think, Sam, you have it with you.
Okay.
Yeah, Agent You, which is fabulous, and a great autobiography of her story, which is really inspiring. So we're so excited.
Okay, so the details of the two events, the Tarrant County Go Red for Luncheon on Friday, March 1st. The Dallas Luncheon is a week later on Friday, March 8th. You can stop and scan both codes on your screen. We've got them pulled up for you right now. We're going to leave them up there for a sec so that you can make sure that you can scan those and take part. Ladies, thank you for being here, for sharing your story. We appreciate it, and good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, Mario.